Hello and welcome back to VHawks Podcast. We've got the rankings for you on who we think is the best in the league, and I have got some controversial ones today because I've realized that if we don't have picks that are different, there's not much to talk about. So I figured I'd also put a humorous twist on it as well.
So actually, I think I forgot to put part of one, but whatever. Um, I told Tyler last week to keep to 10. He definitely did not do that. As you can see,
I did not remember that you saying that, so I
I did
apologize.
say that.
Oh, you cut off where I have refs at one with the Lions.
Yeah, when I was putting them in, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Then as I went down the list, I'm like, oh, okay. He just did not care this week.
Yeah, no, I did not care. Again, I did not expect the refs to miss another blatant call on Sam Darnold's face. So I had to put the refs at one. They
Oh, I
outscored
thought
our
you were
opponent.
saying the Lions, like the refs whiffed
No,
the
no, 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 no. The refs don't work with the Lions. No, because Brian Branch should not have been ejected. I
You should
firmly
have
believe that.
specified that more or put
No,
like
no, no, no. I mean
zero
the
refs.
refs are at one, but the Lions are so good, they're also at one because they can beat a team and the refs.
Or you should have put the refs at like 1.1.
But then I would have had a longer list. So
Like you
as
didn't
in like
already.
as in like visually, like it'll go down further. So I was like, I'll just put them tied. Plus, I had the whole point of my list is to have multiple things at multiple numbers. So anyway, I don't think it's much has changed. Lions are the best team in the league. Matt's giving respect to the Chiefs, which is fine. They're undefeated and Super Bowl champs, so that's fine.
Our top three is
We both
basically
have
the
the advantage
same.
right under.
You can continue. Sorry.
Okay, no, I was waiting for you. I didn't hear you.
I was saying our top three is basically the same.
Yeah.
I have Bills at 4. Um, who did they play this week? God, I forgot. They play this week. Oh yeah, they beat the Dolphins.
Yep.
They had a few bad performances earlier in the year, including the Texans loss, but they've bounced back. They're a top team in the AFC. They have the second best record in the AFC, so I have to give them some credit. Steelers, I kept at 5 where I had them last week. They had a bye week, and then they get Mike Williams. I didn't change anything due to the trade deadline. I don't think there was any big moves that really put anybody in a different spot. Um, Vikings at 6, I moved you up with the win. Ravens, I have at 7. I didn't move too far with the who'd they face? With the Broncos win. We don't really know where the Broncos are at. They beat some shaky teams. Um, Eagles, they got a good win. Just really want to see more from them before I start. It's getting to the point where there's so many, it's top loaded, so it's hard to push them up further just because there's the limit. Packers at 9, they've been getting some last minute wins. And then Falcons at 10, they beat the Cowboys, but we don't really know about the Cowboys right now.
Yep. Getting to mine below three. I had overdropped the Vikings 2-4 once the Lions game happened, or I put them at three, something like that. I overcorrected for losing by two to the Lions. And then they became at four after the Rams game. Because I didn't want to keep overcorrecting. And then with our win, I still think we're one of the best teams in the league. The Ravens, I overcorrected with them, or I correctly moved them after their loss to the Browns, and then they didn't move with their win this week because there's really no room to put them anywhere
Yeah.
else. Um, because I don't think they can beat the four teams above them. Like they'd have a chance against all of them, but except the Lions. I think that um for now, based on their performances, they're down. Like again, Vikings, both their losses are one score if the refs actually called the blatant face mask. So you got that going for the Vikings with that they don't have embarrassing losses.
Well,
The
eight
Ravens
points is
definitely
still one
do.
score, wasn't it? Or Oh wait, no, it was 10 points, wasn't it?
No, yeah, it was 10 points
Okay.
because of the safety that
Okay,
should have
never
been
mind, never
called.
mind. I get
So
you.
that's why I'm saying it's a one. It was actually a one score game because
I was
I'm
thinking
not saying we would
of
have gotten it back.
I was
So
thinking of it being an 8 point game beforehand, and I was misremembering.
yeah, so it ended up being 10 on the scoreboard, but it should have been 8. So and I don't think anybody actually disagrees with that. Even Rams fans were like that should have been called.
So
So
even like Tom Grassi, a very uh famous hater of the Vikings as the incarnation of Satan.
a
Um,
purple incarnation of Satan.
Same thing. Even agrees. I
Yeah.
don't know about the Rams yet, just because they've gotten a few wins, but they've been sketchy at some parts, and
Yeah. Going back to my list, I got Packers and Bills at 6 because the Bills keep winning. I still haven't seen too many impressive wins. I think they beat the Texans. That was their impressive
no, they
win so
lost to the
far.
Texans. Remember, because that was a three straight passes
Oh
in
yeah,
their
yeah.
end zone.
Then the Bills had one win, or maybe they haven't. They've got a good record. They still seem good. So
They're 7-2 right now, so can't
yeah.
really.
The Packers, I didn't want to drop too far or at all. I don't think I even dropped them at all because again, overcorrecting for the Lions game. Like, if you lose to the Lions, I mean, are you really like, are you really gonna drop too far? Everybody loses to the Lions, except the Bucks. And then I have the state of Pennsylvania. The Philadelphia Eagles are really finding their way on offense. I think that's definitely going to translate into wins as it has been the last couple of weeks. If they can get that defense a little bit more squared away, I think they'll definitely be a contender, and they're definitely in the wild card hunt right now, if not going to contend for the East later um in the season because they're only a game behind the Commanders. So that could actually turn into a race. Steelers had a bye week, obviously, but they've had some good wins. Russell Wilson looked better, and now he's got another weapon. So we'll see how that goes. Rams, they moved up a spot. Um, I think that's a very good team. I think they're going to be dangerous. They're going to make a run for the West with the Cardinals. And the reason why I put a ton of teams on here is because I wanted to give respect to the Chargers and the Cardinals. We're just going to skip over the Falcons because they're the Falcons.
Yeah, they'll
Um,
choke at some point.
Chargers have gotten some wins, haven't put them up there, so wanted to give them some props. And the Cardinals, although their record isn't as good as the Chargers, they're looking like a great team right now. So I had to give enough room in here to give them some credit where it's due, and I felt like I couldn't do that without putting things like Packers and Bills, the state of Pennsylvania, Falcons and Chargers in there. So after this week, I'm hoping we'll get more things figured out and I will actually be able to hold it to 10. So
I've given Tyler the challenge of next week keeping it to 10, and the next week I will hold him to it.
sounds good, my friend. All
Okay,
right. Well,
well,
that will do it for our top 10 power rankings. And for me, it was like 13
30.
or something. But um, but yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Who's a team that's standing out to you this season? Anything else you want us to talk about? We're always here. Um, to stay tuned for our predictions video, which will be coming out tomorrow.
Peace.
Skull.